I'm Ellie, and I forgot to take my Zoloft this morning. And I, I, I was planning on saying this, before I even did the speech, but I actually forgot it this morning, which was really unhappy because I'm speaking in front of people, and that's upsetting. So I got my Zoloft 2 weeks ago, along with a brand new psychiatrist, and she told me to email her after the first week to tell her how it was going. Only I didn't. Not for any real reason, just because nothing had happened, and so I didn't have a reason to. So I emailed her after the second week, and I told her that nothing had happened, and she said, Ellie, it'll only start working after the 75 to 100 milligram dose range, and even then it'll take up to 2 weeks to start working, and it'll increase over time, based on effectiveness. For someone with anxiety, telling them that something will happen 2 weeks later is not something you want to do. I hate thinking about the future. So, I let that go. I told one of my two friends that I talked to this sort of thing about, and they said, oh, I guess it sort of makes sense that you'd have anxiety medication. I thought I have anxiety, but I Googled it, and WebMD told me that I have schizophrenia. Don't ever look up the symptoms of sadness on WebMD. It will tell you have the bubonic plague or the sleeping sickness and that you will die in 2 weeks. Don't ever do it. It's a terrible idea. I didn't say this, though. I said, well, are you going to go see someone about it? And they said, no, I think it's kind of cool. There's nothing cool about any sort of mental disorder. And I can't really blame it on them, because it's become something that's trendy lately. And I say trendy because, with social media being the big thing that it is now, and since we are the social media generation, there are tons of blogs that are completely dedicated to certain mental disorders. And most of the time, they are really disgusting morally. There's blogs that promote anorexia, and there's blogs that are covered in photos of someone's wrists bleeding because it's become trendy. There's nothing I hate more than the trendiness of sadness. And because I have anxiety, I tend to not do things or not complete things. I'll start to do something, and then I'll sit there, and I'll be so nervous about this or that that I just won't. I just won't. And that makes me a failure. And in the public perception, there's two kinds of failures. There's the kind of failure who has a reason, some sadness about them or something that's wrong with them that will make them not do things. They have depression, or they're living on a street, or their entire family died in a car crash. It's whatever that it needs to be, but there's a reason. And then there's a whole other group where it's you just don't care, or there's nothing in your future that you don't care enough to try. I don't want to be grouped into that second part. That's not who I am. But I don't like to own up to my anxiety. And I guess it's because, well, I have friends, like two. I have friends, and I tend to, get anxious in public when, during certain situations, and they'll think it's cute. They'll say, oh, it's so adorable the way that you ran away from that situation just then. No, it's not cute. And I mean, I guess that there's a tendency among people who are in that first group, the group who have a reason to fail, to announce it. For example, there's a girl in one of my classes, and she'll stand up in the middle of discussions, and she'll say, hey guys, guess what? I have great news. I gained 20 pounds, which is great, because I have anorexia, and P.S., all of my family is in surgery, but that's cool. And the first time, she does this often, but the first time she did it, nobody really knew how to react, and so she literally stood up and started clapping for herself. And then everyone else did, but I didn't, because I wasn't happy for her, because there's no reason to be happy for your sadnesses. I understand that there are people with issues, but I don't know why people so often turn it into an integral part of their personality. I am not my anxiety. I do not want to be my anxiety, which is why I have the tendency to be grouped in with the people who don't care. I don't want to be that kind of person. But because I refuse to wear it like a costume, I am grouped there. But I would rather a million times over be one of the people who don't care than have anxiety be my personality, because sadness is not an outfit, is not a costume, it is not something that is cute that you wear to a party. It's not fun. So we need to stop acting like it is.